Did you ever wonder why some saints talk so much about hell? Not to scare you, not to control you, but because sometimes they've seen things most people never dream about. Padre Pio, one of the most famous mystics in Catholic history, saw hell with his own eyes, so real and terrifying it completely changed the way he taught, the way he prayed, and the way he helped souls for the rest of his life. And if you think you know what hell is, think again. Most Catholics know Padre Pio for his miracles. The stigmata, the wounds of Christ, bleeding in his hands and feet. Bilocation being seen in two places at once. Miraculous healings, converting atheists right on the spot, reading souls in confession, predicting the future. He basically lived in two worlds at the same time. But even with all the miracles, nothing shook Padre Pio more than his vision of hell. So why did Padre Pio get to see hell? It started with prayer. Late at night, when everyone else was asleep, Padre Pio would kneel alone in his small cell. Sometimes he'd be praying for lost souls, for people far from God, for the mercy of Jesus. And one night, it happened. In a split second, the peaceful room disappeared. He found himself standing at the edge of a pit, a gaping abyss. Endless. No walls, no escape, only darkness that felt so thick you couldn't breathe. Padre Pio wrote later in his diary, "I wish I could make people understand what I saw. If only I had words, but human language fails before the horror." He described souls in agony, not just flames or torture, but a pain that went straight to the core. It was separation, loneliness, regret multiplied by eternity. He saw people crying not just from pain, but from knowing they'd lost all hope. Screaming for another chance, but that chance would never come. Forever and ever. Never and never. The devil appeared to him, too vicious, more empty than any monster you could imagine. The greatest pain wasn't even fire or punishment, but a kind of hate that made everyone despise themselves. The devil torments souls with the memory of their choices, throwing endless mistakes in their faces, making sure they never forget the tiny decisions that led them there. And no matter how much the souls wanted to change, it was too late. Padre Pio was devastated. He couldn't sleep. He couldn't eat. He sobbed for hours. For weeks after, whenever someone walked into his confessional, Padre Pio would beg them, "Don't gamble with sin. Don't take your soul for granted. Hell exists, and it's not just a theory." He became obsessed with helping everyone avoid the road to hell. But what did he actually see? Was it just symbolic? Padre Pio said no, it was real. He watched priests in hell, men and women who'd once prayed, children who'd ignored God, old people who said they'd have time to convert. He realized that heaven and hell aren't about being good enough. They're about your relationship with God and how you handle every choice. Padre Pio's vision wasn't meant to turn religion into fear-mongering. Actually, it's the opposite. Knowing the reality of hell made him love more deeply, pray more urgently, offer confession day and night, and remind everyone that God's mercy is infinite for those who ask. He called confession the tribunal of mercy, the place where every soul could escape hell by surrendering their faults to Jesus. So let's break down exactly what Padre Pio learned from his vision and how it can change your life. First, hell is isolation. In his vision, every soul felt totally alone, even when surrounded by others. There was no comfort, no friendship, just a memory of what could have been. Every soul saw the face of someone they had hurt, every opportunity missed, every prayer forgotten. The sense of forever pressed down like a weight, and nobody could escape. Second, hell is regret. Padre Pio saw souls tortured not just by punishment, but by guilt. Memories of time wasted, selfish actions, words said in anger. He described how the devil would play back every moment to each person, like an endless movie they could never pause. The pain wasn't just physical, it was psychological, knowing what you could have done differently. But now it's permanent. Third, hell is hatred. Not just from the devil, but from the souls themselves. He described how people lost their ability to love, even themselves. Jealousy, anger, pride, all became chains that no one could break. The souls blamed God, blamed others, but never wanted to forgive. And forgiveness was impossible. Fourth, hell is loss. Padre Pio said the worst pain was the total absence of God. In this world, even people who don't pray still get touches of mercy, blessings, light. But in hell, grace is gone. Hope is gone. Joy is a memory that only torments you. The saints teach that just 1 second of God's absence is worse than every suffering on earth, and in hell, the absence never ends. After the vision, Padre Pio saw every temptation as a serious battle. He would tell people the devil doesn't attack with obvious evil, he starts small. Distraction in prayer, laziness, gossip, greed. The little things stack up, building walls between us and God. He said, don't wait for a big sign, the small choices decide your eternal destiny. Padre Pio's confessional turned into a battlefield. He spent 12, sometimes 16, hours a day hearing confessions. People walked in for what they thought was routine, but often left shaken. He would call out sins, challenge people to deeper honesty, beg them to face even the smallest faults. He'd say, if you saw even a glimpse of what I did, you would never want to sin again. People sometimes thought Padre Pio was strict or harsh, but anyone who truly listened realized it was pure love. For him, confession was rescue. He wanted every soul to get out of hell's grasp and back to Jesus. He encouraged people not to wait, not to justify small sins, not to fear embarrassment. Run to confession the minute you know you need it, he said, and don't let pride keep you hostage. Let's talk about spiritual warfare. After the vision, Padre Pio believed every Catholic has an enemy: temptation, bad habits, laziness, discouragement, even feelings of worthlessness. The devil doesn't show up with red horns and a pitchfork. He appears as just this one time, as it's not a big deal, as I'll pray later or no one will. No. After his vision, Padre Pio would say, the devil is cunning, he's patient. He just needs a little opening. For those who felt overwhelmed by temptation, he'd offer very practical advice. Pray the rosary daily. Stay close to Our Lady. Call on your guardian angel every morning and night. Confess quickly and thoroughly. Padre Pio would say, the rosary is the weapon, use it. He believed Mary was the greatest ally in the fight for souls, and gave out rosaries by the thousands. Padre Pio's stories of spiritual battles show how close heaven and hell are every day. He warned that comfort is the enemy of holiness, and that every moment matters. Never put off conversion. He'd say, what you do now echoes forever. This minute matters, but it wasn't all doom and gloom. The horror of hell taught Padre Pio more about mercy than about punishment. He saw how much Jesus suffered to keep souls from hell. Every drop of blood, every tear, every moment in agony. Padre Pio said, if you truly understood how much Jesus loves you, you would want to give him everything. He urged people to stop thinking about God as a police officer or judge, and instead see him as a father desperate to rescue his children. The worst thing, he said, was not sin itself, but refusing to ask for forgiveness. Padre Pio showed that God's mercy can heal anything. There's no limit except our pride. He also told people never to lose hope. Even if you struggle for years with the same sin, keep confessing, keep praying, keep fighting. The devil wants you to give up. Padre Pio wanted you to persevere. He'd say, even if you fall 100 times, pick yourself up and go to God. Stories from Padre Pio's life back this up. People who came to him, desperate and ashamed, would find peace after confession, sometimes miracles. One man who hadn't confessed in 40 years came to him, expecting anger. Instead, Padre Pio put his hands on the man's shoulders and said, you are still God's child. Welcome home. Tears poured down. For those who doubted they could be forgiven, he'd point to stories of the saints, Saint Augustine, Saint Mary Magdalene, even the dying thief on the cross. God loves to forgive, he said, more than a mother loves to hold her child. He made people understand hell is real, but mercy is stronger. The only reason anyone ends up far from God is because they refuse his love. Padre Pio's vision was never meant to scare people away, but to shock them into loving more, fighting harder, and choosing heaven every day. Let's talk about practical steps to keep away from hell and live in hope. Step 1. Examine your heart. Padre Pio said the most dangerous thing is living life on autopilot. Take 10 minutes each day to ask, where is my soul headed? What choices am I making again and again? Do I shrug off little sins, or do I ask for help? Step 2. Confess as soon as you need it. Don't wait for the perfect day or for the big event. Confession is your lifeline. Keep your soul clean. Even if you think it's a small mistake, get grace. Don't let darkness build up. Step 3. Make daily prayer non-negotiable. Padre Pio would say, prayer is oxygen for the soul. Even if you don't feel anything, even if you feel like nothing changes, keep praying. Ask Mary and your guardian angel for help. The devil hates consistent prayer. Step 4. Get rid of dangerous habits, those little channels where evil sneaks in. Gossip, envy, lust, anger, laziness, screens that drag you down. Start fighting today. Replace each negative habit with something holy, even if it's just a small step. Step 5. Love others, especially when it's hard. Padre Pio said hell is total isolation, but heaven is total communion, friendship, joy, belonging. Every time you forgive, help, or pray for someone else, you're building heaven in your soul. Step 6. Learn about mercy. Read stories of saints who messed up and found grace. Talk to a priest if you struggle with guilt or fear. Padre Pio talked constantly about God's mercy. Learn to trust it. Step 7. Don't wait. Every second you postpone conversion is a second lost. Decide now. What will I do today to draw closer to Christ? Remember, life can change in a moment. Eternity depends on your choices now. Padre Pio's vision of hell was graphic, painful, haunting, but it was also an invitation. He saw suffering so deep that it made him fight harder for love. He spent his life pulling people out of the pit, lifting souls towards Jesus, using every minute to change lives. If you want to honor him, do the same. Make choices for heaven, use mercy, go to confession, and pray like everything depends on it. In the end, the question isn't, what is hell? But will I choose heaven today? Padre Pio saw what's at stake and gave everything to help you see it too. So if you think hell is just an old fairy tale, think again. Padre Pio saw it and it changed everything. Let it change you too. Subscribe for more life-changing truths and stories you won't hear anywhere else.